Look how human weakness is. It is very present in our lives at times of discomfort. So many people. I will give you a simple example so you can understand. There are people who need to break up with relationships that are terrible and disastrous. That person only does you harm. You know that, but you have a bond with them. You have an emotional need. You can't break up with that relationship. Then suddenly you get encouraged. You have everything clear before you. That person is not good for me. I can't marry that person. Because if things are like this when you're dating, imagine when you get married, and then when I get married, it will become hell. Even worse than it already is. Then you get encouraged, motivated by people who are by your side to break up. Then it's terrible the day you break up. The suffering is cruel inside you. It seems like you'll never recover, that all you think about is that person. Why? Because even though it hurts you so much, you have an unhealthy bond with it, of emotional dependence. You know it hurts you, but you don't know how to live without it. Then you start taking steps. The first week is horrible. You suffer. You cry. You can't hear the music. You can't smell it. You can't see that little piece of I don't know what that he left there at your house, because all of that is terrible. But suddenly, you start taking steps towards freedom. It's as if you were walking toward an earth that will only do you good. 1 month later, that suffering got better. 2 months after that suffering got better. And suddenly you don't even remember it anymore. Of course there's still a silent bond there, being disarmed because emotional dependence doesn't die overnight. We need it. It's as if you were suffocating a cancer cell with the chemotherapy process. You know that you are taking the life out of the cancer cell, the cell that kills us. Then, let's say 3 months later, you meet that person again and you have that famous relapse. And then there you go. The castle you were building, the ground you had walked on, would have been so difficult. You throw it away and go back to Egypt. You go back to slavery. You do the same thing that Moses' companions wanted to do. Go back to eating the onion. Go back to eating the rotten, spoiled food. Then you get back into that relationship because it is unhealthy, and you didn't take care of the proper distance that you should have maintained. Because when you have this emotional dependence, you have to establish distance. Because if you don't, you won't heal. You have to stop wanting to know about that person's life. Because if you don't, you won't heal. You need to stop snooping on her Facebook. Because if you don't, you won't get cured. You need to stop investigating where she's doing what she was doing. You have to stop all the things that might make me want to go back to her. Because if you don't, you'll never be free. Then 3 months later, you're beautiful and beautiful, already killing the cancer cell. You'll give her a few more kisses on the mouth. That horrible dependency comes back, and hell returns to your life in your first week. It's actually good that everything is coming back. Soon, my daughter, you'll be in hell, worse than you were 3 months ago. That's how it is. When we don't know how to live with the discomfort that builds us up, we boycott ourselves all the time. It's like quitting drinking. It's like quitting smoking. You don't smoke for a year, and you celebrate because you stopped releasing that carcinogenic toxin into your body, and suddenly you go there and light a cigarette for no reason, and that addiction comes back like a monster capable of eating you whole. Why do all those sacrifices you made in the first few days without smoking go down the drain? All those sacrifices go down the drain. Why? Because you were not able to live through the discomfort of giving up. My people, it is impressive how this hand of God helps us like this, making us aware of what we need to break in our lives. These are situations that we need to set limits for, because if we don't, we will never be healed. We will be eternally sick in the line of those in need, crying and begging for a little bread of kindness from another, a little bread of affection from another. For the love of God, we were not made for this. We were not made to drag around emotionally dependent people from others. We were made to love. And love only has meaning in our lives if it is to build us up, if it is to help us get through the discomfort of the desert. Otherwise, this pseudo-love, this false love that we sometimes say we feel for each other, that doesn't help us through the discomfort of the desert. Doesn't make sense? I need to live my desires. You need to live yours. And true friends are those who recognize what the other needs to go through and say exactly that. Are we going to go through this desert because you need it? Now, Pollyanna wants that happy life to be in order. Stop it. kill that childish instinct that exists within you that makes you afraid of life's discomfort. Life's discomfort, when lived well, only makes us better. Take it off, that mask of being pitiful that you stick on your face, so that others will feel tenderly sorry for you. You're just wasting time in life like that. What nonsense! God holds us by the hand so that we can cross this desert. Isn't it so that we can keep falling back forever and eating the onions of Egypt? Because we felt sorry for ourselves, because we felt sorry for others. No. The journey is forward that we go. And there comes a time when Moses comes before God. He goes there. Now you resolve the situation, because I don't know what else to do. They've already built golden ones and zeros in the middle of the road. They've already caused trouble. They're already worshiping even other situations. So they don't even remember that you exist. They just don't come back because they're too far away. But they come back in another way. They don't return in geography, you know? They don't return geographically because they were already far from Egypt. They died along the way. But they didn't return geographically, but they returned emotionally. Because sometimes we have already surpassed the territory of our physical slavery. I've already left prison, but the prison hasn't left me. Is that how it works? I've already taken steps towards my freedom, but I haven't achieved the conquest of my freedom. I haven't decreed the conquest of my freedom. So I am effectively stuck in my past, lamenting the onions of Egypt, lamenting the relationship that ended, the situation that was ended, the friendship that was betrayed. So when Moses is in front of the Red Sea and he is terrified, because now they have nowhere else to go, either they cross the sea or return to Egypt, and the Pharaoh's army is already arriving to capture them. What does he do? He has a private meeting with you. Isn't it an urgent private hearing? Call the secretary of God and tell him for the love of God and ask him to see me today, because I can't go without this answer anymore. The Pharaoh's army is arriving, and then he thinks that God would give him an easy answer, right? He would give him a quick solution. No, what does God say? Remember me, remember? It happens, right? Get in that water. Look at that strong phrase. Tell the people to walk. I will not do for you what only you can do. I will give all the thanks so that the miracle happens. I will strengthen your courage. But if you do not put your foot in the water, if you do not challenge the sea, it will not open. And that is what the people did.